for rest of your peers to join in, and we'll start this session sharp by 7:03. Once again, and I welcome you all to this session on the postgraduate program in management for young leaders by the Indian School of Business. My name is Amit Tyagi. I'm the Associate Director for Admissions at the Indian School of Business. I'm joined by my colleague Kaushik Rai. He is the Regional Manager for Admissions at Indian School of Business. And today we are joined by none other than Soumya Shashidhara, who is the Director for the PGP Management for Young Leaders program at ISB, the inaugural program, the program that we are starting uh, from the cohort 25-27. And today we'll take you through the program overview. Before that, we'll start with a few slides on ISB, what ISB is all about, what is our vision, what is our mission, what we have, achieved over the past decade, 2 decades and a half of our existence. We'll then talk you through the overview of the new program, the PGP PGP YL, and we'll then also talk about the admission processes. Post which Soumya will give us an intro to the genesis of the program, the curriculum, and other aspects of the program, which you can expect as part of this program starting in July. And post which will open the floor for questions from all of you. You can unmute, you can raise your hands, we'll unmute you, and you can ask questions to either of us. And also, while we are going to the presentations, please feel free to type your questions in the chat window, or I will not say chat, in the Q&A section, and we'll be happy to answer those questions there as well. So let's start today's session. Uh, I want to start by talking about the ISB overview, what ISB is all about. So ISB was founded in the year 2001, and with a vision to be an independent, internationally top-ranked, research-driven management institution that grooms future leader not just for the India but also for the world. And these three key things: internationally top-ranked, research-driven, and independent management institution, are key to all the activities and initiatives we have taken over the last 2.5 decades to ensure that what we are, now among the world's top 10 B schools, a research-driven B school, and we offer, global best practice in management education right here in the heart of India. So when we were starting out in the year 2001, we did not want to reinvent the wheel, but we wanted to bring in the world's best in terms of management education right into the heart of India. And that's when we partnered with Kellogg and Wharton as our founding associate B schools. And they shared their faculty, their curriculum, their processes, their systems, their research practices in the initial years. And within a very short span of 3 to 4 years, they recognized as a top teaching institute, not just in India, but also in the wider Asia Pacific. But we're very, very clear at the outset, that any top educational institution in the world is not just a knowledge disseminator, but also a knowledge creator. And hence, research was always a focus at ISB. And we also then partnered with LBS and the Fletcher School at Tufts University. And they're the world's foremost research-focused B schools. And all the four partner schools or alliances that we have helped us build a research practice also. So much so that we're also now ranked among the world's top research-focused B schools. We'll talk about the rankings shortly, but these alliances that we have, they ensure that they have a say in the future of ISB. They have a seat on the governing council, and they help us in the growth of the school going forward. But apart from these four key alliances, we also have collaborations with 55 plus other B schools and universities worldwide for student exchange, faculty exchange, and research. Also, we are also among the select few schools worldwide, which are a part of what we call the Triple Crown accreditation. So there are only 108 B schools worldwide right now, which have the Triple Crown accreditation, and ISB was the 100th B school way back 2 years ago when we got the Triple Crown accreditation. We were the 100th B school worldwide and the youngest in the list. Now, how is this relevant to students? This ensures that the accreditation that we have ensures that your credentials as an ISB MBA are recognized worldwide, whether you choose to work in India, whether you choose to work abroad in Americas or the Europe or any other country of the world. You will be treated at par with MBAs worldwide. So that's because of the accreditation that we have from CSB, Equis, and EMBA. So all these efforts towards building the school over the last 2.5 decades, we're now 23 years old, and in the last 23 years, we have achieved a lot of significant milestones. We were the first B school in the country to introduce a one-year program, which has now been replicated by all the other top institution in the country as well, and a lot of other firsts in terms of offering the executive MBA programs, the PGP Pro, the PGP Max, and so on and so forth, have ensured that we are also recognized worldwide by various agencies, accreditation bodies, by ranking agencies, and the local community. So if you look at our rankings, the latest FT Global MBA Rankings 2024 rank us number 31 worldwide. We also ranked number one in India as per the same rankings, and we have been ranked so by past so many years now. We are also ranked number one in the world in terms of salary growth of a cohort, which was 229% for the batch which graduated last year, and this puts us firmly as number one in this particular parameter as per the FT Global Rankings 2024. I was talking about research, and we'll touch about research a lot in presentation. But in research also, we are ranked number one in the country now and number 52 globally. And it's not just the ranking bodies or the accreditation agencies which have shown the interest in Indian School of Business and given us accolades, but we also are recognized by the community that we operate in terms of the government bodies. We work closely with the various government agencies for various programs. We offer a course in public policy for government executives, and even the various state governments and central government have recognized us for our achievements over the past 23 odd years. So when we were starting out in the year 2001, the then Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee laid the foundation stone of the school. The fifth year anniversary, we had the then President Shri Pratibha Patil, who was the part of the celebrations at school. And in that same year, we also had the then US President, Mr. George Bush, who visited the school in during our fifth year anniversary celebrations. The 10th year celebrations, we had the then Prime Minister Shri Manmohan Singh. 15th year, we had the then President Pranab Mukherjee. And on the 28th year celebration completion ceremony, we had the current Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, who visited the campus and addressed both the cohorts at the Hyderabad campus. So I have a brief video which showcases the visit of our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, to the Hyderabad campus and what he spoke about Indian School of Business in general. So let's have a look at the video. Is my sound audible? Kaushik, Soumya?
Not really, sir. No, it is not audible.
Let me pause this. Sorry for the inconvenience. Let me just share with sound. Yeah.
ISB एशिया के टॉप बिजनेस स्कूलों में से एक है। आईएसबी से निकलने वाले जो प्रोफेशनल्स हैं वे देश के बिजनेस को गति दे रहे हैं, बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों का मैनेजमेंट संभाल रहे हैं। यहाँ के स्टूडेंट्स ने अनेक स्टार्टअप बनाए हैं, अनेकों यूनिकॉर्न्स निर्माण में उनकी भूमिका रही है। ये आईएसबी के लिए उपलब्धि तो है ही, पूरे देश के लिए गर्व का विषय भी है।
So those were the words of the Prime Minister at a completion of a 20th year ceremony last year. Now let's move on and also talk about the program for which you all are here to know more about. So PGP YL, or Postgraduate Program in Management for Young Leaders, is a new program that has been launched by the Indian School of Business. It's a 20-month duration program, and it's a full-time residential MBA trained program for people with up to 24 months of work experience or 2 years of work experience. Now, this program is specially designed for people who are very clear at the onset that they want a management career, and they don't want to wait to get work experience before they start their management careers or pursue their careers in management. So, for people who have less than 2 years of work experience, or people who are currently freshers or currently studying in this college, and if you're very clear that this is the area you want to be, or this is the want to make a career in the field of management, then you can join this program and accelerate your management career. You don't have to wait for 2 years to gain skill sets and then join a program, but you can do it right at the onset, right after graduation, or with less years of work experience. And the program is designed specifically for such people in terms of the curriculum, in terms of various aspects of exposure, to give you exposure for an excellent management career, which I'm stressing, the second time. And this is for people who are trailblazers already, and are young graduates who want to lead. It's for people who want to, thrive as a next generation innovative leader. And this program will be offered in the Hyderabad location to begin with. Now, let's actually hear it from our dean, Madan Pilotla, on the genesis of the program and why we have launched this new program, and what are the various features and advantages of this particular program before we talk more about it.
The postgraduate program in management for young leaders is an exciting new program, and it will bring all of the different faculties of ISB, all of the different unique propositions that ISB has to offer, it will bring to the program. So what are those unique propositions? We are going to bring in a class of outstanding young people, a very diverse set of people into the classroom. These are people who are going to be leaders in the future. So we're going to train them in a fashion that their potential can be maximized as they go out into their career. The second is a curriculum that is backed up by rigorous research. It's the exact same thing that we do in our other programs we will be doing here. We believe at this point in time that data or analytics or technology are not standalone skills. These are skills that have to be built into every course that we have, and that's what we're going to be doing. So that as people graduate from our program, after having spent the time doing all of the different courses, also interacting with industry in the form of projects, in the form of internships, they are job ready. Right now, if you go out and ask people in the corporate world, you ask them, what is it that differentiates an ISB graduate? They point out that an ISB graduate comes in there ready to roll up their sleeves and start working. We believe that we can do that with our graduates, even in this pre-experience program that we are launching.
There was Dean Madan talking about the program, and let me elaborate further on what he spoke about. So the program offers its cohorts three key advantages. The first advantage is in terms of hacking conventional thinking. And how do we do that? So in this particular program, you will learn, the regular concepts of management. You'll learn courses in terms of accounting, statistics. You'll learn courses of, marketing, and so on and so forth. But each course will be supplemented by what Dean Madan also pointed out in terms of technology, data, and analytics. Because as he mentioned, technology, data, and analytics are not standalone skills in today's business environment, but these are skill sets which each manager requires, or each business leader requires in today's world, to make sense of what their business is, in make sense of situations that will be faced in their organizations. So we believe that every graduate from this particular program will be conversant at least with basic principles of technology, data, and analytics. And this could be in many ways. You could be taking courses maybe, in terms of R or Python, to maybe have solid understanding of data mining, and so on and so forth. These are not, again, I want to point out that these are not technical, it's not a technical program. It's more about understanding those technical aspects of which impact the business scenario in the current situations. And Similarly, you'll have courses in terms of how AI impacts business decisions in today's scenario, maybe in terms of finance, in terms of fintech, and so on and so forth. And similarly, analytics also. And this particular curriculum will be taught by globally renowned faculty member at ISB, which is the same faculty which takes other courses also. We'll talk more about the faculty at ISB. And also another unique feature here is the peer group that you'll be part of as being part of this particular cohort. ISB has traditionally been known to bring in a diverse set of people in the classroom, and this program will be no different. We'll ensure that your classroom that you are part of, or the cohort that you're part of, will be from people who come from different walks of life, people who are from different educational backgrounds, and who you feel truly challenged with and learn from each other. So that's the first advantage of this particular program. That is in terms of learning, and it's not a conventional curriculum, conventional course. It will be interspersed by new things that you learn in terms of tech data and analytics, and also learn from a globally renowned faculty member. Now, faculty members. Now, second advantage of this particular program is in terms of accelerating your career. So, since you'll be coming into this program with less years of work experience, you will be fast tracking your career trajectory in terms of the kind of roles you get, in terms of the kind of support and lifelong learning that you get as part of the campus. And you'll also be mentored by the ISB Global Alumni Network, which is now 16,000 strong, and which is spread across 60 plus countries and 400 cities worldwide, and working in almost any industry or function that you can think of. So this will ensure that you will have opportunities to work in different domains, different areas after you graduate from this particular program, because the kind of opportunities that will ISB network and the career team will be able to bring to you. Now, the third advantage of this program is to become a next generation business leader. And how do we do that? Is by giving you an opportunity or building a strong foundation for you to lead tomorrow's businesses by giving you exposure in terms of experiential learning and internships across diverse industries. So this program, since it's for people with less years of work experience, people with half of you could be freshers, half of you could be, or the average work ex could be around 1 year for the program. We'll have a lot of experiential components as part of this program. There will be an internship which will have between the years 1 and 2, and there'll be two distinct labs in each of the years to ensure that you have hands-on learning in terms of various problems that you might face in the industry through industry projects and so on and so forth. We'll talk about those labs in the subsequent slide. Also, the student leadership roles on the campus, the student life on campus will prepare you to work in teams and to work in a community and make impact in terms of your community and create value for business and beyond. So those are the three key advantages that we foresee for people who will be part of the cohort for the PGP YL. Now, talking about the learning journey at the cohort, or talking about the curriculum. So the PGP YL curriculum or learning journey will have three key components. The first component, which we call the maximize cross-functional learning, is what we call the classroom component, right? In this particular component, there are four distinct parts. The first is in terms of building your analytical skill sets. How do we do that? In this particular part, you will be learning courses like accounting, statistics, data science, and other such courses, which will help you better define problems and ask questions and develop solutions. And these are really part of core courses which you'll be learning in the first year along with the rest of your batchmates. The second aspect of this maximizing cross-functional learning or the classroom learning is your functional expertise. In this particular part, you will be learning courses which will give you a complete understanding of how a firm operates in terms of the various functions. You could be learning courses in marketing, courses in operations management, courses in finance, courses in organizational theory, and so on, so forth, right? And this will give you a complete understanding of how a firm operates and in relation to the different functions that work in. And all the students as part of the cohort will undertake these courses as part of the core courses in the first year. The third component or the third part of the classroom component is working in organizations effectively. And here again, we'll have courses in terms of communication skills. We'll have courses in terms of your building the leadership potential. We'll have courses in terms of, understanding an organizational leadership component, organizational skill sets, and so on and so forth, which ensures that you are able to work effectively in organization. So these are the first three components which are majorly part of core courses, which you learn in the first year. And then once you have completed this three parts, you move to the customized learning pathways, which is again a classroom learning component, where you'll be studying around 17 to 18 electives. And these electives that you choose will determine what career pathways you choose. For example, you want to have a particular job. Let's say you want to work in investment banking role, or you want to work in a P firm, or you want to work in consumer behavior core marketing areas. Then these learning pathways will determine how well prepared or suited you are for those particular roles, and that will ultimately be a function of what courses you take in your electives. And there'll be a team to guide you through basis your end objective on in terms of your electives and your learning pathways. So these are the four parts of the classroom learning in terms of the curriculum: analytical foundations, functional expertise, that is knowing the firm as a whole, working in organizations in terms of leadership, communication skills, and so on and so forth. And finally, customized learning pathways, which will determine which what kind of roles or end objectives that you have. You'll take electives according to those particular uh, uh, you know objectives in your second year, and you take between 17 around 17 or electives in your second year. So this is about the classroom learning. But apart from this, we also supplement classroom learning through two other perspectives, two other components. First one is business in action. Here we have designed a few labs and a mandatory summer internship for people who, since all of you are going to be more or less freshers, or people with less than 2 years of work experience, we'll ensure that you are able to understand how organizations work and get an exposure of experiential hands-on learning. And there are three components here. The first is the ideas lab in the first year. In this, you will be working on a hands-on program where you will need to find actionable solutions through design exploration or design thinking. And you'll be working on a project to ensure that you know how organizations work in real time and find solutions to those projects. This is in the first year. Between the first year and second year, there'll be a mandatory summer internship, which we made available through the ISB placement process, and you will have to undergo summer internship for 2.5 months at an organization where you through the ISB placement process. And this will also give you an understanding of how actually an organization works and when you go through the projects at that particular summer internships. The third component of business in action is pivot, or what we call innovation and venture oriented thinking. Now, this is primarily for people who not just primarily, but it's also this is made for people who want to be entrepreneurs eventually, either after graduating from ISB or maybe after 3-4 years of working, or who harbor uh, aspirations to be an entrepreneur. In this particular lab, you will be given a hands-on exposure of how to build and launch a business in terms of writing a business plan, in terms of choosing right financial models for your business, in terms of how to go about funding, how to get an MVP done, and so on and so forth. Now, as part of this lab, if you're able to identify an opportunity for yourself and you want to pursue entrepreneurship right after your graduation, you can build a business proposal, apply to the two incubation centers that we have at ISB. We have two, one in Mohali, the Atal Incubation Center, and the D Labs in Hyderabad. And if there's merit in your proposal, you will be incubated. And by incubated, I mean you'll not just get office space on the campus to work on a startup. You'll also be given support in terms of mentorship. You'll be given guidance in terms of from the ISB alumni network, and you'll be paid a stipend of 1 lakh rupees per month to sustain yourself for the next 12 months while you go about building your product or scaling your idea. And in case you're able to scale that in the next 12 months, well and fine, we'll help you connect with funding agencies to venture partners and so on and so forth to fund your startup. If not, you come back to ISB placement process next year and sit for placements again. So in this way, we take away the element of uncertainty for entrepreneurs through this particular lab. So these are three business in action ideas that we have for our in a curriculum components. Now, the third component is the global perspective. So, as I mentioned earlier as well, ISB is a global B school based out of India, teaching through the Indian context. And here you'll get a lot of global perspective in the classrooms in terms of the faculty members who are from top universities and B schools worldwide. We have a lot of visiting faculty members. We'll touch upon that in the subsequent slide, who will be bringing in a global perspective to the classroom. But apart from those faculty perspectives, you also have a chance to do an international exchange program at ISB. So we have collaborations with 55 other plus B schools and universities worldwide, where you can spend a semester abroad, and also students from those universities will come and spend a semester in the program and sit in classrooms with you. So whether you go abroad or not, you are sure to get an international perspective in your classroom right here in your classrooms at the Hyderabad campus. There'll be other aspects to this as well, which we are designing. We'll let you know in due course. But we're likely to have study treks here, where we'll take on short trips to other international locations to understand the business scenarios there, or to understand how innovation works in those areas. There'll be other projects which can be part of as part of the international immersion activities. So these are the three major components of the PGP YL learning journey: classroom learning, which ensures you maximize functional learning; the business in action, where we'll do hands-on projects and labs to get familiarized with the business environment, since coming from coming as freshers. And the third is global perspective through immersions, through international faculty members, through study treks, and so on and so forth. So this is what the academic calendar at ISB looks like. So people who are raising hands, please wait. We'll come back. We'll take Q&A. In fact, Sami will talk in more detail about all these things as well. So I'm sure all your answers will get answered in due course. Just please wait for some time. So this is what the academic calendar at ISB looks like. The year one starts in July, where with an orientation, there are three terms. There's also one block learning experience, and then there is a mandatory summer internship at the end of year one. Now, what is the block learning experience? This is another interesting innovation that we have in our curriculum. Block learning experience is nothing but one block week, wherein an industry expert or a team of industry experts come and take a full course for you in one complete week, where you study that particular course and nothing else. For example, you want to go into marketing. So what better than somebody from a senior people from in HLL coming and teaching you marketing in practice, how it happens actually in an organization, and taking that course for complete 20 weeks in a 1 week duration when they are on campus, right? And let's say you want to go into valuation, or you want to go into corporate finance. What better than somebody from a top I bank or top P firm coming and teaching you mergers and acquisitions for one complete week on the campus where you take that particular class. So that's what the block learning experience is, and that two block learning experience. In second year also you have a block learning experience, and then again we have term 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in the year two, where you will be taking core courses and determining your career pathways. The placements, summer internship placements for this particular program will happen in December, and the final placements will also happen in December, along with your peers, along with the juniors for in summer internships and final internships together. Because when companies come to the campus, they'll come and recruit both summer interns and place people for the final placements also. Again, summer internships are expected to yield a lot of PPOs and PPIs. If you are conversing with the term, PPO is a pre-placement offer, PPI is pre-placement interview for students, and that will also give you a lot of opportunities in terms of the career choices that you want post your program. Now, we talked about the curriculum. Let's talk about the faculty members at ISB who will be teaching you that curriculum. So ISB is a very unique model of faculty, which we call the portfolio model of faculty at Indian School of Business. Right. So what it means is that even though we have 70 plus teaching and research faculty members across the two campuses who are top-notch experts and PhDs in their respective areas from top universities and B schools worldwide. But we also supplement those faculty members, resident faculty members, with visiting faculty. And we have a pool of 200 plus visiting faculty members from top global B schools and universities worldwide who visit ISB every year. And when I say visiting faculty members, they don't come to ISB for a one-off lecture here and there. They come to ISB for a complete term and teach a complete course. So they come with a portfolio of the courses which they teach in the respective universities or B schools, teach it to our students here at ISB, and then go back post that to the parent universities. So what this does is this gives you access to the world's top teaching talent right here in the heart of India. So you don't have to go to, let's say, a Fletcher School or an NYU or Berkeley or a Michigan or an NUS to learn from faculty members there. The faculty members from these schools are coming here at ISB and teaching you courses right here in India. Right. So when I talk about faculty members, there's so many of them. I'll encourage you all to do a research on a website in the faculty section. But two key names come to my mind. One is Mr. Krishnamurthy Subramaniam. He's, as some of you might know, the former chief economic advisor to the government of India, and currently he is the India's representative to the IMF, International Monetary Fund, or he's an executive director at IMF. And as a former CA, he used to advise Government of India on matters of economics and finance. And as at IMF, he now does that for the governments worldwide. And he's also a faculty member at ISB and teaches us students economics and finance every year. So imagine learning economics and finance from somebody who's the world's foremost, advises governments worldwide on those matters. Second example, Mr. Edward Rogers. Not sure how many of you have heard of him, but I'm sure you've heard of NASA. So Mr. Edward Rogers is the former chief knowledge officer at NASA. He retired from NASA in 2020 after a distinguished career of more than 2 decades. And now he runs his own startup in the area of complexity. Well, that's what rocket scientists do, right? He's a rocket scientist and he has dealt with complexity all his life. And at ISB, he teaches a course called Managing Business Complexity. So imagine learning complexity from somebody who is the world's foremost exponent in that field. So that's the kind of teaching talent we're able to bring to the campuses because of a unique model that we follow at Indian School of Business. And these are just two examples. There are many other such faculty members. I'll urge you all to do a research and know more about the faculty at ISB. Again, I've been talking a lot about research, research-backed curriculum, uh, uh, cutting-edge research done by our faculty members, and so on and so forth. And all this research, how is it relevant to students in the classroom? So we have, 6 research centers and 5 research institutes across our 2 campuses at Hyderabad and Mohali. And these research centers and research institutes engage in practical, application-oriented research, practically solving problems of industry, which they bring to faculty members at the research centers. And this research invariably flows into the classrooms to the experience of the faculty solving those problems. So, for example, Munjal Institute of Global Manufacturing. So, a lot of manufacturing companies worldwide will come to ISB, talk to faculty members, and bring problems which they cannot solve in the day-to-day operations because they are more focused on the day-to-day operations. Things which require, a detailed research of maybe 2, 3 months or more is what our faculty members are, work on those problems. So, and those problems will eventually be part of the classroom learning to the curriculum because our curriculum is a dynamic curriculum which is designed by the faculty members themselves, and it's not something which we have regulations like regulation 19 or regulation 2021 or refresh after 4 years. No, it's a curriculum which is totally based on the faculty's experiences in the research centers and the various activities that they do outside the classrooms along with the industries. So that's why research is important for students and keeps curriculum current and also ensures that they will learn right when things are happening in the industry. And for this, we are ranked number 1 in the country now for research for past so many years. As per the FTMB Global Rankings 2024, we're ranked number 52 in the world in terms of research, as per the FT Global MBA Rankings 2024. So this program, inaugural program of the PGP YL will be offered in the Hyderabad campus. I'm sure a lot of you are going to ask me how many people are going to be part of the program. So we have a baseline number of 140 odd people to start with for the program in the initial years, and then we'll scale it up as we go along. Now, a lot of you will have questions on the career and professional development side or the placement side of things. So since it's a new program, we don't have any stats for this particular program. But what I can tell you is that, ISB has an independent placement team, which is not a student body, but it's a team of professionals working out of 4 offices whose only, job is to ensure they build relationships with top organizations in the country and abroad and bring them to the campus year after year. And this is why we have also been able to place a batch of 800 odd people every year at exceptionally high salaries, year after year. So if you look at a PGP cohort, 80% of our cohort had salaries in excess of 35 lakhs per annum last year. And now with this new program, we have also did a detailed discussion with our recruiters. Since we have a strong relationship with them, it's not just related to hiring people from the campus, it's also related to in terms of, curriculum, in terms of various aspects of, learning and development at ISB. We also train their, workforce on in terms of executive education and so on and so forth. And when we had a discussion with them, they had been very receptive in terms of looking at people with 0 to 2 years of work experience who they could groom right at the onset, right? So we see a demand in terms of industry, and we also discuss. We also are getting a lot of feelers from students like you on why you could have to wait for 24 months to join the premium business school like ISB, and so hence we expect a lot of opportunities for students in this particular segment in terms of also internship route opening up for students. A lot of roles will be also be available from that particular front in the areas of banking, in the areas of marketing roles, and so on and so forth. And one aspect of ISB which I want to touch upon here is life at ISB. And life at ISB is not just about classrooms, but it's a very vibrant community that we have. And we believe that students learn not just in classroom, but also beyond the classrooms. And at ISB, we ensure that students have a huge say in terms of the campus experience that they have, be it in Hyderabad or be it in Mohali. So we have a graduate student board for students in the PGP program at ISB at Hyderabad currently. And this program will also have their own graduate student boards where there'll be leadership positions like president, head of marketing council, head of student life council, head of academic council, and so on and so forth, which will ensure that to not just have a say in terms of your campus and academic experience, but you also are able to hone your leadership skill sets and organizational skill sets. There are 14 professional and 16 and 10 social clubs at ISB, and there'll be separate clubs for PGP YL students also, for you to hone not just your organizational skill sets, but also pursue your passions in terms of theater, dance, music. And a lot of these clubs will have a synergy with the PGP community on campus as well, because you're going to be part of the same community and you will have a lot of interactions with those cohorts as well. An important aspect of any B school that you join or decision to join a B school is the alumni network that B school has. So even though we are a very young B school, we have still built up a formidable network of 16,000 plus alums across 60 plus countries and 400 plus cities worldwide. And these alums are primarily from the PGP program, but PGP YL will also be part of the same pool of alumni network. And our alums already 900 of our alums are CXO roles across top organizations and industries worldwide, and 1,000 plus of our alums are already entrepreneurs or have their own family businesses. In fact, 13 plus unicorns are now, have been founded and are now been run by ISB alumni. A few primary, few ones, if I were to give a few examples, Boat, Inmobi, Glance, Cardeco, Upgrad are some of the major names which are, startups or unicorns which are founded by ISB alumni and currently run by them. Now let's come to who should apply for this particular program or what we are looking at in this program. So here in this program, we are looking at a combination of few things that you see on the slide. One is achievement orientation. Achievement orientation could be anything. It could be into a consistent track record of academic performance or a consistent track record in terms of any other area of life. Could be sports. You've been consistently performing in sports at a particular level and gone almost to the highest level, or an achievement in terms of co-curricular, extracurricular areas, and so on and so forth. Second thing is we are looking at lateral thinkers, people who think out of the box, people who have a strong creativity or a problem-solving mindset. And this you can showcase through various initiatives that you might have done in your, student life or in your school life, and so on and so forth. Could be position of responsibility, could be, be part of various hobbies in terms of music, dance, and so on and so forth. Another aspect is leadership mindset, where again we are looking at your leadership potential in terms of how you think, in terms of how you communicate, and in terms of whether you have an ability to take initiatives or not. So here, showcase activities in your application or in your essays where you've taken initiatives, or where you have gone beyond your regular things which were not expected from you, maybe in your college, in your internships, or in your brief work experience that you might have had since graduating. And finally, we're looking at people who are entrepreneurial and innovative. It could be, in terms of you being part of research in your undergrad, you will have having patents, you having publications, you having worked in a startup, or having started a startup in your undergrad, or currently working on your own startup, and so on and so forth. These are the few things which we are looking at, in people who are going to be part of this cohort. It could be one or a combination of many of these things. It doesn't mean that you need to have all of this. Any one of these things, if you showcase, then you are a suitable candidate to apply to this particular program. Now let's look at the criteria for admissions. In terms of educational qualifications, we need somebody who has a bachelor's degree before start the program. That is, you should have completed your undergrad in by June 2025, because the classes start in July for this particular program 2025. Again, in terms of work experience, your work experience should be no more than 24 months of work experience as on 15th of June 2025, which is a cutoff date for calculation of work experience. Again, how do you apply? What do we look? What else you need to apply? You need a valid test score. We are looking at either a GMAT or a GRE or a CAT score. For GMAT and GRE, you need a test score which is no older than 5 years as on the deadline date of the round in which you're applying. And the score should be a test center score. It should not be an online or at home score. For CAT, we are looking at people who are taking CAT in 2024, November. And for this, I understand you may not have your CAT scores right now, but you can still apply by giving your CAT registration number or application number in the portal, and we'll take your CAT scores directly from the CAT body. In case any of you here are from a vernacular background in undergrad, somebody who has done the undergrad in maybe Hindi medium or Tamil medium, or from a foreign country, and which is not in English, then you are required to submit a TOEFL or an IELTS score as well. But if your undergrad is in English medium, then there is no requirement for a TOEFL or an IELTS score. Now, students will be shortlisted based on a combination of things like your acads, your work experience, your I'm sorry, no work experience, your acads, your test scores, your essays, your extracurriculars, or letter of recommendation, and so on and so forth. And all these things will be converted into profile score, and shortlisting will happen on the profile score and not on the individual score. So when you are going to ask me questions like what is the cutoff for CAT, or what is the cutoff for GMAT or GRE, there's no cutoff for individual parameters. Cutoff is on the profile score and not on the individual parameters. As long as your other parameters are strong, even if one parameter is not that strong or it's very weak, it's perfectly fine. You'd still get a chance to prove yourself in the interview and beyond. Uh, People who are shortlisted for interview will be called for personal interviews, where the interview panel will be people who are senior leaders of the industry, basically the recruiters who recruit from ISB, board members of ISB faculty, and alumni. And you'll be having a one round of interview with them, post which will combine your scores together and make offers to people who clear the cutoffs. In terms of fees, the fees for this program is 21 lakh 65,000 plus 18% GST, and the accommodation fee is additional 3 lakh 95,000. So all put together, the total fee comes to around 29 lakh 65,000 odd, inclusive of all expenses. That is your admission fee, commitment fee, tuition fee, course materials, stay on campus, ISB, alumni service fee, etc. What else you need is your living expenses. that is your food expenses, your laundry, local commute, and so on and so forth. But you'll be staying on campus for a duration of 2 years as part of this particular program. Now, for people uh, who how to fund your education, how to fund this fee, there are a lot of options. We are going to offer scholarships to students across three categories. For people who are joining in, merit-based scholarship and merit cum need scholarship are the two scholarships offered, where we'll offer up to 100% of tuition fee waivers across both the categories. And uh, we expect to offer around 40 to 50% of the cohort at least some sort of the scholarship or other as part of the inaugural cohort. Now, people who want to work in the impact sector post graduating from ISB, there's also a scholarship called Develop India Scholarship, which is for people if you work in an NGO or a government organization or in the impact sector, we will offer you a stipend of up to 30,000 rupees per month in lieu of you working for the development of the country or your society or your community and foregoing your corporate jobs. Now, for those of you who don't end up getting a scholarship, we have tie-up with various banks, public sector banks, private sector banks, and NBCCs for education loans. And with an ISB offer letter, you'll get an education loan with at very attractive terms and conditions from any private bank or public sector bank. In fact, the State Bank of India, the campus offers the best deals on education loans for ISB offer letters, but you can also get them from your own home banks. I'm sure no bank will refuse you a loan on an ISB offer letter. And usually for an ISB offer letter, banks offer 40 up to 40 lakhs loan without any collateral or a guarantor or a co-borrower. So this is about the scholarships and the fee. And here I want to mention the deadline for the round one. The deadline for round one this year is 15th of December 2024. There'll also be a round two, and it's likely to be in towards the end of March. We'll give the dates for the round two deadlines closer to the end of the round one deadline. But for all of you who are looking to apply in round one, the deadline is 15th of December 2024. The application portal is currently live. Feel free to look up the portal, the essays and other aspects of the application, and do reach out to us if you have any queries in terms of the application, any other aspects. We'll try and answer most of your queries today, but in case you can't think of any now, or in case you miss your question, feel free to write to us on PGP YL at isb.edu or on the phone numbers given here, or also on our website or on the social media pages, and we are very active and we'll revert back to you to assist you in terms of your queries. So that's all I had in terms of the presentation, the information part of the this today's session. But now I want to invite Soumya, who is the director for PGP YL, and let's hear it from her in terms of the genesis of the program and in terms of curriculum. And please feel free to ask questions as well post this interaction.
Thank you, Amit. And hello, everyone. It's really nice to see all of you on the Zoom interaction today. So I just want to talk a little bit about why ISB decided to take this route of doing a 20-month program. Because the first reaction that all of us got when we floated this idea of a 20-month program for freshers was why ISB has always had a 1-year program, and for people with work experience, why is it that you would like to do, right? So I just want to go back to our vision statement, which is to create leaders for tomorrow, both for India and global. So that is how it was started when it was conceptualized in the post globalization, to have a very strong cadre of managers and entrepreneurial managers who can lead India into the post globalization development. And I think we have done a fantastic job with our 1-year MBA. And also, as all organizations grow, at ISB also we took a pause and said, what is the next step for ISB in the education portfolio, right? And then we said there is a very high quality pool of students who are interested in doing MBA right after their undergraduation. And that is what we refer to them as freshers. and some people who probably have worked just minimally for a year or something. So we were not able to provide a very high quality program for them. So in this context, the whole idea of creating a very impactful program was sort of generated. And the second thing we talked about or discussed internally is, if ISB needs to create something in this area, we need to be very innovative and cutting edge. That is what we were known for, and that is how we want to create this. Be providing education in management. So what we did is we went right to the industry, the leaders, business leaders, HR leaders, to discuss if ISB should sort of design a program as a greenfield program, quote unquote, in this day and era, which is like post-pandemic, where technology is such a big impact and consumer behavior is drastically changing. The way things are being looked at, asset light, etc., etc. These are very different constructs that are there in the industry. So if we should sort of build a program at this time and age, how should it look? That was the question that we were posing to ourselves. And we got a lot of answers from the industry, because they said, we want students who are very technically sound, because it is all about deep knowledge. We want students who are very data driven. We want students who are very technologically savvy. And we want students who are very holistic in their approach. So that is why if we see our curriculum, we are calling it to maximize cross-functional learning, isn't it? Because we want HR leaders to be very well-versed with the impact of AI in their field. We want finance people to be well-versed of how marketing or operating models are being there. In case you're getting into a banking role or an investment banking role, it's just not about finance. You also need to know how organizations are structured, work, and values are created in a business. So this is the kind of very bespoke and very new age program, which is very directed to the competencies and skills of the 21st century. That is what we wanted to create. So therefore, that we got a lot of insights from the recruiters. And the last thing is, we said, this is the first time we'll be teaching freshers. So how does this program have to be different from our existing well-established programs? So these are people who are very inexperienced. These are people who have just come out of college. So therefore, we need to have a very comprehensive experiential component to it. So that is why you see the second bucket in our curriculum is called business in action. So therefore, it provides a lot of opportunities for the students to apply the learnings in the classroom in different contexts. Amit spoke about ideas. This is a very immersive field experience of practicum, where students will be trained in user-centered thinking. They'll have concepts of design thinking, consumer behavior, customer centricity, all rolled into one. They will go into field, they will observe, they will collect data, come back and solution. So that is how it's going to be. So therefore, there's adequate opportunity to compensate for the quote unquote lack of work experience. And of course, the summer internship, which is a very important aspect from two angles. One, it is a way of project or whatever, showcasing themselves to the recruiters, and also to gain corporate experience. So this is something that is very common in the industry, and we have adapted that into our curriculum. And the third one is, of course, pivot for students, to give students exposure to the startup ecosystem, what it takes to work there, what it takes to build enterprises. So that is where it is going to be. So we are very excited about this program. I'll pause here because I know all of you have very specific questions to answer. So Amit, over to you. Should you want to answer some of the questions verbally, because there are a lot of.
I think we'll first take live questions from people who
Sure.
raise their hands. So Kaushik, if you can unmute people by
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Naman, go ahead, please.
Before
Naman,
we get into the questions, can I make one request to everyone? If something is very specific to a profile, then please reach out to us separately and we will sort of have like a counseling session with you on a profile basis. But if you have a general conceptual question or a question about the program which will benefit at least a few other people, and those are the questions that you would want to ask, that's just a sincere request. Kaushik, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Naman, please unmute yourself and ask a question. Naman, you there? Okay, no worries. Divyansh Gupta.
Hi Kaushik, Divyansh
Hi.
this side. Yeah, so I have a small doubt. So I joined my firm on 1st June 23, and if I apply for YL PGP program round 1, the results will be announced by March. And by then, if I leave my job, it will give me a total work experience of 21 months, which is meeting the program's criteria. So when I was filling the form application, there was a question, full-time post-qualification work experience as of the cutoff date, which is 15th June. So based on this, I become to be ineligible by just 15 days. So could you please clarify this thing?
Yeah, so not a day more, not a day. The criteria is very clear that you should not have more than 24 months of work experience as on 15th of June.
Yeah.
So if you met, so that way you will not be eligible if you have more than 24 months on 15th of June if you enter that in the application form. But if you foresee not having a job and if it's less than 24 months, that's your call to take. But I would suggest that if you're meeting, if you're close to the 2-year cutoff, then you also have a chance to apply to the PGP program. So, take a call accordingly.
Okay. Okay. So even if if I leave my current job by March when I get selected, that 21 it becomes 21 months. Which
See,
is yeah.
I wouldn't say you leave your job, or just to become eligible for the program. I think that's not the right move in my, uh, opinion. Uh, Choose a particular program for which you're eligible, right? So, because you'll already be at the cusp of applying to both PGP and PGP YL. So, don't try to game the system, is what my this thing is, because you will have a choice anyways to apply for PGP again by June next year.
Okay. 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 Sure. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Amit, if I may add to that question about 24 months and being closer to 24 months. So this is a very conscious decision ISB has taken to have a very hard cutoff, because we feel if you are people who have 24 months or and plus experience, you are better suited for PGP. It's very simple. So it is very different program. We believe that with your 2-year experience, you'll be a better fit for PGP. The kind of program outcomes that will be coming will be more suited for your aspirations. So therefore, please don't game the system. As Amit said, it is not the right way to approach this. If you are already towards 24 months, then PGP is what you need to consider.
Sugandh, please unmute yourself and ask a question. Sugandh Gupta.
Good evening. Yeah, hi. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
So I have two questions. The first is that are the applications processed on a rolling basis, as in an applicant applying at the earliest date that the
No,
applications are
it will not be.
processed?
So only after we get all the applications and all the scores in place, we'll be able to, process the applications. So only after the CAT results come out, we'll have the applications processed. So you apply in round 1, it will not guarantee your result, by 16th of December or early results. So results timeline for round 1 is mid of March, and all of you will get your results together in mid of March.
Right. So there's no disadvantage in applying after the CAT.
No. So after the CAT, you apply in round 2 then. Round 1 deadline is 15th of December. So if you want to be considered for round 1, then you apply by 15th. If you want to be considered for round 2, the round 2 results will come out by May.
All right, all right. And my second question is the program more giving more preference to freshers, as in someone with a 1-year work ex would be less preferred
No.
Is it
So
more centric to freshers?
no. Answer is whether you have 1 year work experience or whether you have 1 year and 11 months of work experience, you will both be at par. So work experience will not be given a weightage in this evaluation process. But what it will do is somebody who has worked, let's say, for 15 months, they may have some skill sets which they can leverage maybe in the interview in other places. So that's the only advantage for people with work experience. But there is no bias for somebody with 0 or somebody with 2. Both of them are at par,
Even for gap year students?
even for gap year students.
All right, thank you.
Gap year, of course, you'll have to explain the gap in the interview and other places, but in the evaluation, we don't look at gaps.
All right, thank you, sir. Murlidhar, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome, thank you. So, hello, thanks for doing this. So, there has been a minor speculation among online forums that PGP YL will only provide analyst roles because of the fresher tag the students will have. But people like me who come with 1 year of work ex, who are already analysts, would aspire, to get like junior associate or, PM1 roles. So, can you throw some light around this?
Sure. So if you look at, best way to look at that is in terms of a current PGP while candidates who come with 20 months of work experience, right? That's a minimum cutoff. And if you look at their roles, they have gone into junior consultants, they have gone into as consultants also in a lot of consulting organizations. So it's not that you'll be offered an analyst role. It'll totally depend upon the kind of skill sets you bring in and the kind of criteria ISB sets for the organizations which come to recruit. So we have very strict hygiene thresholds for organizations that come to hire at ISB in terms of roles, in terms of compensations also. And we will, being a top B school that we are in the country, will have those cutoffs for organizations also when they come to hire for the best interest of our students. So don't worry on that count. Our students have been getting higher roles with 20 months of work experience. So there's no reason why they shouldn't get that for slightly lesser work experience. It's all about the pedigree that you bring in. It's all about those aspects. So those will be taken into account when companies come to the campus, because we have a lot of say in terms of in those aspects of the placement process.
Awesome, thank you so much.
All right. Anantam, go ahead, please. Anantanam, can you hear us?
I think we move on to Sachi.
Sachi, please go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to ask, how does the syllabus of PGP YL differ from the regular PGP that you have? And, is it wise to wait out the work experience and then apply for PGP, or just what the difference is?
So I'll tell you the difference in the basic philosophy first, and then we'll talk about the syllabus as well. PGP is for people who want to transition their careers. The average work ex in the PGP classroom right now is around 4 years and 1 month, right? And it's for people who have worked in industries, diverse industries, people who have worked in particular roles, built certain skill sets, and now want to use their skill sets to transition their careers into roles of their choice, maybe in finance, maybe in marketing, maybe in consulting strategy or leadership roles, right? That's the idea behind PGP. PGP, while will have roughly, I would expect 1 year of work experience or even less than that, average work experience in the class, even less than that. And this is for people who want an accelerated management career. That is, if you're currently short in your undergrad or with less of the work experience, that this is the area I want to go. I want to go to consulting, I want to go into or maybe marketing, or I want to get into a management career, then PGP while is for you. Now, in line with that, there are significant differences or slight difference, at least in terms of the curriculum. While curriculum is geared more towards, ensuring that people who come in without less years, without industry exposure, get that exposure and also able to, learn in the classrooms the advanced concepts of management. PGP people come with at least 2 years of work in the class, so they are already at an advanced levels in terms of understanding what a organization looks like. So curriculum is slightly structured in that particular direction. Some electives or some specialized courses would be common across both the programs as well. Soumya, do you want to add something here?
This is very correct, Amit. Trust ISB to do a good job in terms of the curriculum. We have the expertise to do it. We have proven ourselves. PGP is for people with experience. PGP YL is for people with limited to no experience. And program curriculum and program outcomes will be in line with what the industry would expect. That's all I would like to summarize.
All right. Could I just add on, like, just another small question?
Small.
Want to ask that for like pursuing like an MBA, someone who doesn't have a business background, are there any prerequisites for courses that you'll offer, or is it like will someone who doesn't have a business education be able to?
Definitely, I mean, we will be able to do it. So we will be learning courses on the campus. And see, even if you don't have a business, what do you call business? BBA maybe. That's what you're saying, right? Business course.
Yeah.
So it's not that only BBA people want to do MBA. People across, backgrounds will do an MBA. For engineers, they might do well in operations management. For CAs or finance people, they might do well in accounts or finance courses. For somebody who's coming from the maths background, they do well in stats. So everybody who comes in with regards to background will have some prior knowledge in some courses, but other courses will be totally blank. So we have what we call the concept of study groups at ISB, where we create a study group where you learn from each other in different courses, you assignments together. And those study groups, there'll be two engineers, there'll be maybe somebody from the arts background, there will be somebody from the finance background, so that whatever courses come, there's at least one expert in that group to do the assignments. Plus, there are also certain courses which will recommend you to brush up and come, maybe be what we call the bridge courses before the course start. But it's not something which you can't pick up while you're at ISB. It will be rigorous to begin with, but it's something which people do pick up every year.
Ekta Singh, go ahead.
Yeah, good
I
evening.
think question is for you. Yeah.
Am I audible?
You are audible, Ekta. Slightly low, but go ahead.
Yeah. Am I now audible enough? Yeah.
You are.
So my question would be, I missed my last exam of last semester. So
Hmm.
should I consider it as a gap year, or should I consider it with a backlog as well while filling up the form? How should I
So,
go?
so it is your it will be that your degree will have extended by one more year. So it
Yes.
will just show it as degree completion and the last exam date. That will be your completion. So there's no gap year. Essentially, your degree is of 4 years then.
Okay. And when the form asks up the duration of your bachelor's degree, should I fill 3 or 4?
Yeah, you have to fill three and give the clarification in the space provided in the
Okay.
gap.
Okay. As of now, I don't have any kind of background or experience with business or management or anything, right? So is there any consulting team available with whom we can interact regarding how to go about the form filling?
Yes, yes. So I shared some numbers on the screen, and we'll also share it in the chat. So reach out to our admissions team, and they'll help you in terms of any queries that you face in terms of the admissions application portal and so on and so forth. In terms of essays and all that you write yourself, there's nobody who can you can consult on the essays because these are your thoughts. So you write them yourself. Maybe we attend some sessions like this. We'll have more such sessions like this, where maybe you can get some essay tips from the admissions team, and other faculty members will be part of this such sessions. But feel free to reach out to the admissions team for any queries that you might have, any guidance in terms of how to fill the application, attend these sessions. So that will give you a lot of insights. That's the only consulting team I'll recommend, and no, I don't think you should look at beyond that. Essays should be your own essays and not written by somebody else.
Okay, I can't see the numbers, whatever you have sent, please send it again. Okay, thank you
You're
so much.
part of this session, so you'll receive an email also. We'll have the numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Mahesh, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir. Thank you for conducting this session. So, I come from a business background, whatever the previous audience was saying. But unfortunately, I haven't gone ahead with my GMAT or any other preparation because I didn't have this thought in mind. But when ISB opened up this program, I was like, I have to do this. So, the CAT registrations are closed and I haven't taken any GMAT application. So, I have kept a doubt, and Kaushik sir replied to that. He said that we go ahead with an unofficial GMAT score. I didn't get what the
No,
unofficial.
no, no. So he might have misunderstood your question. So what I'm saying is, if you have not given the GMAT now, give it now. Prepare for it. Typically people take 2 months to prepare for GMAT or a GRE because CAT is now closed for you. That window is closed. You can only now apply for next year's CAT. So you can give a GMAT or a GRE. The round one deadline is 15th of December. Take a test by 15th of December, and you have a clear. I mean, as of now, 2 months. But round three deadline will be in March. So you'll get another 3 months, which I feel 2 + 3, 5 months is more than sufficient to prepare for either GMAT or GRE. So take a test by mid-March and you can apply this year.
Okay, sir. I'm looking forward for that. And also another doubt. Will the round two be harder than round one, or
No,
is there anything like that?
no. There's no difference between rounds. It's cutoff-based selection. The
Okay.
cutoff is consistent across the two rounds. It can only go down, cannot go up. So
Okay.
if you meet the cutoff in any of the rounds, you will be made an offer.
Okay, sir. Looking forward. Thank you.
Neeraj, go ahead, please. Neeraj Ram Prasad. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I just had a quick question. So postgraduate graduation 22, I have worked some part-time roles and I've tried to build my own startup. Is this considered as full-time experience? This is what I wanted to know.
So post-graduation, if you have worked in a role which is full-time, that is you are working, not doing anything else on the side. If you're getting paid, and if it was not part of your undergrad or master preparation, then it is full-time work experience. But were you paid in those part-time roles?
Yes,
Or
I
were you
was working as
working
a consultant.
for as a consultant, you were working and you were getting paid, right?
Yes, I was getting paid as a consultant.
Then it will be full-time work experience.
So any role that pays you will be considered as full-time experience
Yeah,
post-graduation.
if it pays you post graduation and which you're doing full time, it's a full time role. Yes.
All right, all right. Thank you so much. That's it from my side.
Yeah. Ketan, do you want to take a few questions?
Surely. Thank you, Amit. Sargam, you can go ahead with your question, please.
So I wanted to ask if there are any luxury brand management electives or anything in that particular sector that.
Can you be a bit loud, please?
Am I audible now?
You
Not
are.
very clearly, Sargam.
Give me a second. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Sargam.
I want to know if there are any luxury brand management electives that we can pursue the program.
So I guess Soumya.
So it's very early to sort of, we don't run a program, I mean, course like that even in the PGP. Right now, the electives are being put together. That's a very specific and niche question. But there are enough courses in marketing which will facilitate a career in luxury brand management or even luxury product marketing, etc., etc. So, and we also have a lot of alums who are working in that space. So, therefore, this career path will not be a limitation in the provided options that we will give in electives.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Rishikesh, do you have any questions for us?
Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Yes, thank you for conducting this session. I just had a very quick question. If you can elaborate a little bit on the semester exchange and how that would work.
Okay, so there is going to be a semester exchange program where you can go into any of the top universities of the world. The timelines are still being worked around. You will have a list of institutions. You can go onto the website and check the associations of ISB to any of the top B schools that we have. You will have a chance to go there. And the ultimate thing is going to come out very soon on the website. You can check the kind of institutions where you can actually go. But there will be a semester exchange if that is what that was your question.
55 plus opportunities you will have to from B schools abroad.
Understood. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Soham, do you have any questions for us?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Soham.
Oh yeah. Thanks a lot for this session, by the way. I have two questions. My first question would be whether this YLT program will have the same number of companies recruiting, or if not, what would be the percentage of companies recruiting for the PGP that would be recruiting for this? I'm asking this specifically because the industry that I want to venture into already is quite niche. So there are not a lot of companies operating there that actively recruit MBA grads. So I just wanted to know if I just wanted some clarity on that firstly.
Okay, so look, there is no segregation on the companies which will come to recruit for PGP and PGP YL, right? So the companies can be the same. However, the roles that are given to PGP YL students and PGP students can differ depending upon their experience, right? I guess Amit was explaining that earlier.
Yeah.
So do not be under any sort of apprehension that there are going to be lesser companies, recruiting for PGP YL in terms of quality or in terms of numbers.
So also, in terms of, the placements will happen together for PGP and PGP YL. And when companies come to the campus at ISB, even now for the PGP, they come with a wide range of roles. They come for people for, entry-level roles. They come for people for mid-level roles. They even come up to hire vice presidents for their organizations. So very recently, 2 years back, I think Amazon hired somebody as a VP for sales compensation at their corporate office. So when they come to ISB, a lot of organizations, they already have roles in mind, right? And those roles, it's just a matter of whether they fit a particular section of students, let's say people with 0 to 2 years or 2 to 5 years, as per the job description. So you can apply. But my personal sense is that, there'll be more opportunities for people in the 0 to 2 years bracket, because practically everybody, wants to hire people in that range and groom them in their organizations. So a lot of those leadership roles, MT roles, a lot of those investment banking roles, a lot of those, consulting organization roles. I think everybody will want to look at that particular segment. But as you go higher in the segment, the roles become more niche, and functions or industries also become a bit niche. They want somebody for chemicals with 5 years of work experience. So there maybe the roles are not lesser. But 0 to 2 years, I don't foresee a challenge in terms of organizations. I think more roles will be in that particular area. But of course, we'll only know once the placements start.
Thanks a lot for that. Another question that I had, that for PGP admissions historically, the GMAT average or median has been around 700, 710, which corresponds to around 655 in the new pattern. So I know for the first cohort is almost, I don't think it's quite possible to predict the average, but just wanted to know your 2 cents on it.
Ethan, you want to?
Sure. So we already enumerated in the presentation and the talk that yes, it is a part of the application process, selection process, I should say. So get the best score that you can. Let's say, even if you say that you get a 715, you'll not get it, right? So it's not about what you want to get, it's about what you get. And then you build your profile circumventing that score. So it's a holistic profile-based evaluation for a reason, that even the ones who, let's say, do not have a stellar academic record, if you have it, it will be given weightage. You will obviously have advantage, some kind of it in that particular section. But if you don't have it, you can show it through other sections of your application. So let's say, even if you want to go by the PGP kind of pedigree or historical data that we have, 720 was the median last year for GMAT, right? 329 was the median for GRE. So 720, if you just convert it to GMAT focus, it will be around 665.
655, 65, hopefully. Yeah.
Just keep that number in mind and, just work around it. You get more, that will be advantages. I hope I answered your question. Okay. Yeah. So I have Sahil. Yes, Sahil, please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you for holding the webinar. It was really informative, but I have a few questions. So first, I would like to ask about the accommodation. So, would we be staying on campus if we were in PGP? Or could you please tell me a bit more about that?
Okay,
Yes,
yes, definitely.
certainly.
Soumya, please go ahead.
Certainly, you'll be staying on campus. It's a residential program, so therefore, yes, everybody needs to stay on campus. It is a requirement.
Right, and I understand that ISB has a lot of notable partners abroad, other institutions and such. So could you please speak a little more about the exchange programs, as I may be potentially interested in going abroad for a semester or so?
Yeah. So we have programs, across US, UK, Korea, Australia, Middle East, Southeast Asia. So we have 55 plus B schools and universities worldwide. In fact, if you happen to come to our Mohali campus in the auditorium, maybe there are flags of all those 55 plus 60 odd B schools and universities, countries where we have partnerships with. So you can also look at the list on the website. And the criteria for going for international exchange programs is a bidding process. Uh, as long as you want to go there, as long as you're really very sure that this is one experience you want, you can bid all your points there and make sure that you get an international exchange programs. It's purely on a basis of bidding points, nothing else.
Right. And just a few more questions, sorry.
I mean, we'll take one question or max two per candidate because a lot of, I see 42 hands raised.
Okay, just
I'm
one.
sure we'll not be able to finish all 42, but at least let's finish as many as we can.
Okay, so just one. So I understand like the standard PGP program, they offer specialization, say marketing, strategy, finance, operations. Would the PGP YL do something similar? Would we be provided
As
with?
I mentioned earlier, that we'll have a concept of career pathways, right? And worldwide, these schools are now moving on from specializations, but they're offering you pathways. So again, same thing we'll have at ISB. The kind of electives you take will determine your career pathways. So if you want to go to marketing, you take 6 courses in marketing or 6 in finance. That becomes your career pathway. If you want to go to iBanking, you take options, switches, and derivatives. Or if you want to, you take mergers and acquisitions and so on and so forth. So that is what is going to happen in this program. We're not going to call it specializations on your certificate. We won't say you specialize in strategy and finance or strategy and marketing, but what courses you have in a transcript will determine your chances in the interview and your career going forward. It is immediate career post ISB.
Yeah, if I can just add to
Yeah.
that. So what we are seeing in the industry and with our alums are that they're having non-linear career. So that means people may have done marketing here, they have become HR heads in startups, right? Because they need to understand business to be a good HR person, etc., etc. So therefore, we are moving away from the specialization, as is the global trend. But it is, think of it as a bucketing in a different way. We will continue to offer courses in strategy and leadership, operations management, marketing, technology management, and information sciences, the whole hog, the organizational behavior, etc., etc. But the way we are like thinking about it is a little different and very current, if I may say so.
Sure. So we have Harishankar, please go ahead.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Hi, thank you so much for this session. So my question was, so I graduated last year. I did a couple of internships, and I did a few in India and I did 2 abroad, in fact. And I didn't really take up a full-time job after my undergraduate. And right now it's been a year since I graduated. And by the time I joined this program, as on the assumption if I get selected, it will be 2 years, almost 2 years of not full-time experience. So, and I see that in the portal you had asked to upload the payslip or proof of income. So for a candidate like me, do I still upload it? Because of course, I did get paid even during my internships. What is the solution for this?
So first of all, if you say that it was not full-time work experience, you will not be showing it as full-time work experience. You'll be showing it as part-time work experience, for which if you do not have a pay slip, sometimes you can do away with it. However, for some of the internships or let's say freelancing work that you did, you must have received some kind of a payment. So any kind of bank statement that you want to showcase, right? Or any ITR that you might have filed, they also will suffice, right?
Okay.
For full-time work experience, definitely there has to be a proof of income. But since you say that it has never been full-time and you've only been doing internships, you can show them as part-time. That's up to you.
Okay, sure. And also one more question. So I'm well aware that for the PGP program, ISB, the students, maybe I am not sure of the percentage, but a few of them do get jobs abroad. So maybe some companies come to recruit them in other places like Dubai or Singapore, etc. And I wanted to know if this could also be the case potentially for PGP YL.
Definitely could be. Definitely could be. Keep your fingers crossed. Definitely there'll be companies. Who gets it? Obviously, we don't know, but there'll be companies for sure. I think we lost. Okay, Ria, please go ahead with your question, please.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. I mean, Ria, I think you're on mute.
Hey, can you hear me again? Sorry.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so like I come from a pure sciences background and I want to transition towards business. So does it make sense for me to apply? Because I remember like Amit talking about people coming from arts, commerce, but he didn't really mention about people coming from pure science.
Obviously, there are many backgrounds. We can't mention every background. So
I mean,
definitely, and a lot of people from arts and engineering, science and engineering backgrounds apply to ISB, and that
yeah.
has been the tradition. So if you want to transition, as we also told in the presentation, we'll be giving you the foundational knowledge of business, and then you can also go into the expertise, functional expertise. Definitely works.
We also have had PhDs in high technology areas also apply and get into the program in PGP.
Like being very specific, a cancer biologist, can she apply? Like,
Definitely.
Definitely.
right. And like one follow-up question, sorry. So I have worked at a startup, a biotech startup, and they have offered me like a 6-month full-time internship. Would that count as a work experience or not? Like,
So look, nomenclature can be different for different places. So if it's a full-time job that you're doing, you can show it as full-time work experience. I'm sure you have salary slips. Do you have it?
yeah, I do have it, yes.
And it makes sense for you to show it as full-time work experience, right?
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Garima. Any questions for us, please?
Hello everyone. Actually, I just wanted to know, like, I have a 1 year experience in the family business. Like, due to certain circumstances, I had to handle my father's business, which is a grocery shop. But I did everything on my own, like, without any. But I don't have any salary slips or any formal recognition for that. So, do I write that in my portal, or like, how should I mention it?
So this is definitely an experience which you carry. Is there any document which mentions that you are a part of that business? Was there some kind of a transaction happening in any of your bank accounts which shows your name?
Not me actually, because I was handling my father's business, so I did it in his name, but not in mine, because I was a minor back then.
No
Like I
worries
didn't.
then. Yeah. So simply you can show it as part-time. Obviously, you will carry that experience into the admissions process and the selection process. You will be able to talk about it, and we'll also inquire about that in the interview. So you will have the gravitas that you will be carrying. You will have that skill set which you bring into the class. So that makes sense. You put that in the application form, put that as part-time, and
Like
we'll take.
we need to mention the salary in that portal. So like even the part-time I work in, so I write zero salary. Like so I didn't get any salary.
Obviously, that's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So can I just come in, like in terms of experience, especially for this group, it's not about what you did, it's about what you gained. That's what I think Ketan was trying to say, that, you need to sort of bring those perspectives in your essays, the 3 essays you're required to write. And also you will have opportunity to talk about it in your interviews. Because if you go back to what Amit was talking about, we have these four personas that we want people, right? We want people to be lateral thinkers. We want people to be high achievers. We want people to be entrepreneurial. We want people to have showcased some leadership abilities. So if you have within your experience gained any of these essays and interviews are the excellent place for you to be showcasing it.
So I think we have run out of time, but we'll quickly take one more question. I think Sanit is trying to ask a question. So last question of the day. I'm sorry, we had 40 people wanted to ask questions, but we were not able to take all of those questions in this session. But we are going to have sessions every Thursday for PGP YL going forward, and we'll take a break for next week because of Diwali. But every Thursday after that, we'll have a session. feel free to join those sessions to interact with us, and we'll be answering your questions live here. But for today, I'm sorry, we'll not be able to answer a lot of questions, I know, but reach out to us maybe on the numbers I have mentioned earlier, and or on our website or other places, and we'll be happy to answer a question. One last question of the day, Sanhit Intala, you can ask your question.
Good evening, sir. I attended the session last month, which was on campus also. So regarding the program, I've got no doubts as in, but regarding the admission process, I'm writing CAT this year. And also, for example, I filled the form in the coming 2 or 3 days with my CAT registration number. And suppose I write either GRE or GMAT before December 15, is there any provision that I update my score onto my application?
No. Once you submit the application, your application is final. So in case you want to make any changes to the application, wait till the deadline day and submit, I would suggest. If you want to change or add anything, don't submit the application, because once you submit, it's locked. We can't change the application. But you can always wait till 15th of December to submit in case you don't want to change something or add something later on. So choice is yours, but don't once you submit, there's no changing the application.
So that means I need to update all my details, submit my LOR and all the test scores, and then submit.
Yes.
At the end.
Yes.
Sir, and
You
also,
can't edit after submitting. That's what it is.
Yes.
And also one final question: how many months of how many pay slips do I need to
3 months.
3 months. The
Yeah,
three.
Yeah. Put them in one single file and upload as a PDF.
Thanks.
So with that, we come to the end of this session. We thank you, audience, for the tremendous response to this inaugural session. But be rest assured, we'll starting this as a series of sessions, what we'll be calling weekly Thursdays for PGP YL. And barring the next week, every other Thursday, we'll be having a session, and we'll make sure to invite you to this session. And we are cognizant of the fact that we're not able to answer a lot of questions today, but please feel free to reach out to us on the numbers or attend our next sessions, and we'll try and answer as many questions as we can in the upcoming sessions, for PGP YL. Thank you, Soumya, for taking your time out and being part of this session. And thank you, Kaushik and Ketan, also for moderating and answering your questions today. And thank you, audience, once again, and wish you all the very best and good night.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye. Good night. Yeah.